Hey guys, good evening. How's everyone going tonight? Welcome to tonight's impromptu offer they call from our Ultimate Business Support page. I'm Natasha Denman. Before I get on with anything, I want to make sure that at the other end that you can hear me and see my PowerPoint. Now, there's not going to be much of a PowerPoint. It's just something that we can record so this call can go up on YouTube later for those that missed it. Because last time I did this, I only played my voice, and yes, I had the recording, but it wouldn't let me upload to YouTube. So I have to have something on the screen to record. Hey, Leonie, great to see you. Yeah, Stuart's not here yet. He will be back down after he puts the kids to bed, and unfortunately he'll be here only for the second half, which is our ultimate 48-hour pre-weekend pep talk to get rid of that overwhelm these authors are facing. For those of you that don't know and are on the call for the first time with me, we're running this weekend a ultimate 48-hour author weekend for 10 people who will become published authors very soon after the weekend. And we're doing a bit of a 45-minute pep talk for them 45 minutes after we've had the Q&A. So I would kindly ask you when we finish our 45 minutes here that you leave the call, and I'll tell you when, so that we can stick around and finish off with them. So that would be much, much appreciated. So more people are coming through as I'm having a chat to you. And just for those that, because I can see a few names here that I've never met before, and for those that don't know me, that's why I put up this slide, just so you know why I invited you to this Q&A, and why the topics that I suggested that I'm happy to talk about to you. So I started in business 3.5 years ago, May 2010. Just returned from Europe. I was there for 5 weeks and ran my business from over there both last year and this year. And I operate under 4 different brands, but obviously it's me behind all of those. And the Ninja Business Chicks one is the one that I have a partner in Donna Brown, the work from home queen. So we have a co-branded business because we often do things together, and we're planning a US tour in May next year. So, but the other 3 brands is where I spend most of my time, and have published 3 books about writing that 4th one. The 4th one's that really big one on the screen on the right-hand side, Ultimate 48-Hour Author, because I want to tell the story of obviously this weekend, which actually is going to occur 4 times next year throughout the year. Every quarter we'll run one for 10 people, and I'm happy to discuss that later on. This call is basically for you guys to ask me whatever you like. And as I'm talking, please start typing up some questions. Hey, Sarah, nice to see you on the call. And you know, obviously you came here for a purpose, and you have some kind of a burning question that maybe is keeping you stuck in your business, or is it a mindset strategy? Are you struggling in some way? Are you having a challenge and you want to ask me anything? Because I know how tough it is when you are new in business. It took me about 18 months to really get off the ground. And in those 18 months, I reckon I made about $8,000 or $9,000. So it was full on. And really, the business has tripled every single year, and it's due to triple again. And it's just now really enjoying the lifestyle, having about 3 months off per year where we travel, like not full on, but per 1 month at a time. And I'm loving it. And I think we may be planning our 3rd child. I've got 2 children, for those of you that don't know me. Judd is about to turn 5, and Mika is 2.5. So we're getting to that stage, is are we going to have the last and 3rd one? So it's very, very exciting. I can't wait. There's more people coming through. Great to see you. Must be all shy because I'm still waiting on some questions to come through, because you guys, this call is for you. I'm here. I'm giving you my time. My time is worth $440 an hour. So if you don't start asking me questions, I'll just keep talking about myself and my family. I'll tell you a little bit about my goals for 2014. Let's go there. Actually, let me talk to you about goals, because I'm very big on goals. I believe if you set goals, if you're that one of 2 to 3% of people who set goals, you will get the success that you're after. Whether it's sooner or later, as long as you're taking those steps and focusing on your goals and keeping them realistic, and you're calibrating them so that you are meeting them and celebrating afterwards, you will definitely get to where you need to be going. So last year, my very big goal was to get my husband to quit his day job. And surely enough, I didn't think I'd make it, but November, just before the end of the year, he did quit his day job, and he's been with me for the last year. And subsequently this year, my very big goal is to get my mum to quit her day job. And you know what, guys? I'm on track. It's still cutting close whether I'll be able to do it. I know my mum won't, but if I can say she can, then I've achieved that goal. So next year, it's all about getting through in the US and getting my next couple of books out. So those are my couple of big goals, and also to have my first $1 million year. That's my big goals next year. All right, so Mel has posed the very first question. Here we go. Usually when the first one comes through, you all feel comfortable about posting some questions. So she's got a tiny skincare business launched 1 year ago and struggling with sales and getting my name out. I'm using Facebook and Twitter to create awareness, but feel I'm stuck. Do you have any suggestions? Yes, Mel. And you're one that I've never met before, so I'm very happy to see you on the call here. A few people often come to my calls, so we've got a few sort of buddies that we've known each other for a little while. But what I find early on in the business, in any business, so just because I come from a background of being a coach and consultant and all that kind of stuff, in any business, what I've noticed, the most successful strategy in terms of getting yourself out there is to actually go out and meet people and expand your network. Yes, social media is fantastic. However, social media, my belief is that it starts working a lot better the longer you're in business. So absolutely, you have to be on there, and you have to be there every day and interacting with people, responding to people. However, networking, running workshops, those couple of things where you're actually going out there physically and meeting people and spending time to get to know them and them to get to know you, those are ways that you can grow your business in the early days. I would give you homework. Go out and network twice a week. So find 2 events that you can attend. And if you're not part of our Ultimate Business Support Facebook group, please join, because on Mondays we have networking day, which means everyone posts lots of different events that you can attend. So that means that if you're going to say, I don't know which ones to go to, we post. There were so many posted this Monday. We've just changed the theme of the days. And I got a lot of ideas because my diary was empty after coming back from Europe, and I wanted to go to a few events to reconnect with people. Even now, 3.5 years in, even though 90% of my business comes from social media, I still love going out there meeting people, because I'm a very big believer that your network equals your net worth. And being you in business, that's how you will meet those key connections that you could perhaps create some joint ventures. And being in a skincare business, I think you could spread the word out by doing some really awesome educational workshops where also people will meet you and get to know you and start working with you. So those are my couple of tips for you in terms of growing a brand new business. And really, it applies to any business. Any business could educate others on what they do, and in turn also go out networking and meeting people, because that time is well invested, and people get to trust you, like you, and then therefore buy from you a lot quicker. So I'm very big on that, and I continue to do it. At one point in time, I thought, oh, I don't need to do it. I can just stay behind my computer. However, all of a sudden I got depressed. It's like, no way. I need to go out there and be amongst people and recharge, really, because a lot of my time, obviously nowadays, is behind the computer because of so many national and international clients, and people want to save time and want to do their sessions from home over the internet. So Sarah's got the next question. How do you maintain your energy, as you seem like you're always doing so much? I want to know your strategies to maintaining that. Thanks for the question, Sarah. Well, I have always, since I was little, people always thought I was like an Energizer bunny. So naturally, I've always had a lot of energy. But that doesn't mean I don't have days when I'm down. Like right now, you guys, you might think, oh my God, she's got so much energy. Or on the other side, I may get off this call and may be totally exhausted. You don't know. But what I do is I manage my state. I manage my state when I talk to people. Now, by the way, I'm feeling pretty great tonight. I've had an amazing day and exciting news, but I'm not announcing it yet because I need to get the paperwork through. You got to get the signature on the dotted line before you actually get too excited about anything. That's a little lesson that I will I guess impart on you tonight, because oftentimes someone's given me a yes on something, I've gotten super excited, and then it's fallen through and it's a big letdown. So now I'm just staying calm until I get the final bits of paper, and then I'll announce what's happened. But Sarah, look, I do take time off, and I do make sure that I have like, for example, I don't work Fridays, so definitely every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm pretty much chilling out on the couch. I might spend a couple of hours on the computer doing the social media thing, which is just really fun stuff for me. And oftentimes, like, I definitely sleep my 8 hours a night. So 11 till 7 is my regular routine in terms of sleeping, and always have things to look forward to. And if you have things to look forward to, you're just always full of energy. And I always generate lots of opportunities in terms of my diary's generally got opportunities booked in 2 or 3 months in advance, so that I have lots of things to look forward to. So keep taking action, and that will compound. And some things won't turn out into anything, but it's a numbers game. Business is a numbers game, and seriously, you can just you just need to take the action to get to those yeses. And generally, I would expect 80% no's and 20% yeses, although that percentage nowadays is shifting the other way around. And then Sarah's asked, in addition to her comment, is how do you manage your state though? Okay. I'll obviously now need to go back into my coaching. Like, what do I do specifically? I visualize myself, okay, because I'm a visual person. I visualize myself really peppy and hyper and happy. And I also visualize being myself, like, in that moment, like, when you're with friends and you feel like you just can communicate, you don't get stuck and all that. When I was originally started doing workshops, I was very, very nervous, and I used to go up in my head rather than do it from my heart. And even webinars, like, I used to just sit down and think, oh my God, what are they thinking of me? All this kind of stuff. And I was just really not focusing on the others. I guess the focus was on me. And until I actually shifted that to focus on others and how I can serve them, that's the bit that got me to come and serve in whatever way possible. So nowadays, I don't even prepare for most of my things. Like, I've got a lot of teaching to do over the weekend at the 48-hour author weekend. I've got 7 sections to deliver to them. However, I've just put together a PowerPoint. I know my stuff, and I know, and I trust, I guess, trusting your intuition that the words will come out, that you will deliver an amazing workshop. And yes, I would say visualization has a lot to do with it. Oftentimes, before I speak with someone or do a presentation, I will visualize myself and picture myself, them having a good time, smiling, and me being really fluent in what I'm talking about. Cool. Christy, do you recommend sending e-newsletters? And if so, what tips do you have for growing your database? Also, would you put an offer in your newsletter? I'm about to send my first newsletter. Yes, that's a great question. Thanks, Christy. I don't know if I've met you either. Okay, so yes, absolutely send out newsletters. I would recommend sending them out once a month. Don't make them too long. Probably 2 key articles. And yes, you can put an offer. Like, you can actually have a section in your newsletter that can have some promotion on there. I know when I originally started my Ultimate Weight Loss business, I did a fortnightly newsletter. And I can tell you, so many people used to message me and say, thank you so much for sending out those newsletters. Focus on your newsletter, obviously being educational, and really a way of keeping top of mind with your database. And definitely, yeah, you can have an offer. Now, your second comment was tips on growing your database. you would do it through many different ways in terms of growing your database. You can do it obviously through your website, where you have an opt-in, something you give away for free that is of value, that is going to solve someone's problem. So what we say here is that you put something together that it results in advance related to your business. Okay. And this particular offer can also be put on your Facebook fan page, which means that you can have your little image tabs turned into an opt-in area where you can say, you can put, like on one of my Facebook fan pages, I have a little gift box, and people click on the gift box and they go in and they get their 30-minute book strategy, not interview, but session to unpack their book. And so that's another way. Other ways is purely through you actually posting it on, recommending your website through your social media. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend you guys use social media purely for promoting your website and building your database. 90% of the time, I believe you should be adding value and really humanizing your content. And 10% of the time, just, post an offer and give people an example or pitch something from your business. Other ways is obviously when you go out networking and you meet people, ask them if it's okay to stay connected, if you can add them to your database. So ask for permission always. So that's one offline way of building your database, and always be very prompt in terms of adding people onto it. And other ways is through joint ventures, someone else recommending you to their list. So there's a variety of ways you can generate leads. You can give away something, and people need to email you in order to get that thing. So usually people won't give you their details for a newsletter or tips. It has to be something more wholesome. You got to give people the benefits as to why they would give away their email address, because if you don't give them the benefits, why would they want to? Because email addresses are pretty valuable. They say they're about $5 or $10 in terms of what it's worth to get someone's email address and keep in touch with them. So you really need to build the reason why, the compelling reason why they should give you their email address. But definitely don't put on your website, sign in to get my regular newsletter. It's just such a common mistake people make. And you guys, I'll give you my website, websites that I actually have at the end of our 45 minutes, so you guys can look them up and just do a bit of research, if anything, just to model them in terms of what they give away and all the bits and pieces that are on there. Awesome. Sarah's just said thank you. That's great. I haven't got any more questions, so come on, guys, keep typing them up. Okay, here we go. We've got Sarah who said, how do you work with clients? Okay, so I won't go into a lot of detail around this because I want to answer everyone's questions. I'm not here to pitch myself to you guys. It's just a pure free call. But I do work with clients one-on-one. However, I don't have any room at the moment, and I have made a firm decision not to take on any one-on-one clients until the end of this year and review if I have room next year. I do, however, have an inner circle where people get access to me via email, and we have like calls like this per month. They get the Ninja podcasts. They get a mindset step every month. What else do they get? They get access to a secret Facebook community group. So that's one way people start off with me. That's sort of the entry level, which is really, really affordable. And then obviously I focus a lot nowadays on helping people write their books, which is through the Ultimate 48 Hours a Weekend. Okay, enough about that. We've got some more questions. You're welcome, Sharon. Christy says, in relation to social media, do you work with clients to set their social media strategy? Look, I can assist someone. So, Christy, in terms of social media, I could assist and give someone lots of strategies. Like I could spend an hour to 2 hours in terms of getting them their social media strategy in place, but I wouldn't work with them ongoing. I would expect the client to do it for themselves because you're the best person to do your social media. So that would be like a casual proposal or that I would put together, and those I will do from time to time, but I won't take on like ongoing one-on-one clients until I have more room. So yes, I would be able to help someone with their social media strategy and give them some tips, because obviously I haven't like studied fully in detail social media, but obviously I've been around on it for the last 6 years and definitely have had a lot of success. Like I have I'm just off the top of my head generated at least a couple of $100,000 through social media this year, and that's been from a couple of different instances. And yeah, like I know the things that work, and I continue to have it work for me. So therefore, I teach people the strategies that I would use, but obviously transfer it as to what it would mean for their business. Cool. Sharon says, when entering into a JV, how much can we expect the other party to tell us about their business and vice versa? When you get into a JV, generally you won't succeed in setting up JVs unless you actually have quite a bit of rapport with the other person. Because people, I would approach people that you've already built a relationship with. So I would say you would want to know each other and each other's businesses pretty well, and have some kind of a close relationship, even a friendship, because they're the people that actually do successful joint ventures, and they do the best for each other. So I think going cold on someone for a joint venture, you'll have less success than actually first investing the time to set up the relationship and then approach them in terms of doing something together. That's my strategy for you. Okay, Mel, lots of questions are now coming through. That's great. Mel's saying, I'm thinking of doing a flyer letterbox drop. Do you find that they work, and do you have any content suggestions that work? No, that don't work. Don't do them. Don't waste your money. I would invest my money instead on obviously doing up your Facebook fan page, where it's got like an opt-in where you collect people's details for your database. Someone that you can hire over Elance, that's spelled ELANCE. And then I would spend money on Facebook advertising your fan page, so that you would attract new people, and you can then start building that relationship and hopefully continue the relationship through the database if they've put in their details. I did that recently for the Ultimate 48 Hour fan page, and I grew it by 200 likes, and I've had so many. I had to actually put it on hold because I've had so many people requesting their booking strategy half an hour sessions, so I haven't been able to keep up with them. So I switched it off so that I can keep up with that. So instead, I would invest my money that way, because I've done letterbox drops. They don't work. People just chuck them in the bin. And really, the expected response rate from those is less than 1%. I think it's maybe even 0.01%. So, yeah, I think once I spent $500, and that money could have been well invested in other areas. So that's my answer to that one. Alana says, put them onto your licensees. Laugh out loud. What do you mean by that, Alana? I'm not sure what I mentioned when you actually wrote that comment. Sarah, he's got a question. What's the best way to find a niche within a niche? Like, I mean, the problem people want fixing in your niche. How do you find a great point of difference? Yeah, that's a good question. I always look at myself when I look at my niches. So I can only talk to you from personal experience, and maybe you can relate this back to what your experience is in life. And if you look at all my brands on this PowerPoint, you've got Ultimate Weight Loss, lose the last 10 kilos. Obviously, that's a niche within a niche. Lose the last 10 kilos is a niche within Ultimate Weight, in terms of within weight loss. So why did I come up with that? Because I had the lose the last 10 kilos story. So if you were to go into my website, ultimateweightloss.com.au, you will find on Meet the Founder sort of about us page, my pictures of when I was 10 kilos more than I am now. And I had kept that weight off for 8 years. Now, I was never overweight, but this is a niche that is meant to be for an ideal target market who would like to be who's vain. Okay, they want to be the center of attention. They they don't want any extra kilos on them. So it's actually not about health, it's actually more about vanity. So I came from my own personal story, and I can tell you, and I'm being honest right here, that originally I thought it was about health until I understood myself and why I originally lost those 10 kilos, because I didn't look overweight. I mean, if you compare the pictures, yeah, maybe you think, but if you saw me back then, you wouldn't. But then when I thought about actually these people are the people that came to me, and when they wanted me to coach them, I would ask them, how much weight would you like to lose? And they'd say, oh, just the last 10 kilos. So from the people that were coming to me, I picked out that niche. Soon enough, I wrote the book, The 7 Ultimate Secrets to Weight Loss, and I wrote a program. And all of a sudden, I started attracting people who wanted to write books and programs. So therefore, again, I looked at myself and what I was attracting. And therefore, the business coaching niche wasn't just business coaching. Again, a niche within the niche is create products for profit. The third one with Ultimate 48-Hour Author came this year, where I wrote a book in 48 hours, and therefore I could teach people the system how to do it. So it was always about me, but then obviously I was noticing what people were seeing with me. So Sarah, to answer your question in just a short with a short answer, is look at what other people are seeing within you. What have you overcome, or what have you achieved within a specific area, whether that's health, business, or whatever, that you can now teach others and give them the tips in terms of the system to be able to achieve it for themselves. So that's how I came up. That look at yourself. All right. Leonie said, Leonie, Nat, did you get your website up as soon as you started your business? No, not as soon as I started my business. I think I didn't have the money until 8 months in. So I just networked my little butt off. I only got one paying client before the website was up. Look, guys, really, my websites don't do too much for me in terms of I don't have them search engine optimized. I know people do and they pay for it and all that. For me, my success has come from building relationships, not through website traction. I'm not saying that doesn't work. It does work. If you invest and focus on it and you hire the last people, the last people, if you hire the right people, it will work, okay? And as long as you have a well-converting website. But the website was there so people could look me up after they met me. If they saw me on social media, they can look up my website. So all of my websites are up there. If you want, I think on the next slide I've put the websites. If you want to check them out and what they actually look like, I'll just leave this slide up for a minute, and that's why I've also given you my contact details, because I'm more than happy to help anyone if you have a quick question and that I can assist you on. So please feel free. My door is always open door policy with me. So yes, to answer your question, Leonie, yes, I did. No, I didn't. 8 months later, and they're also always just act for me as somewhere people can go to check me out. And obviously someone Googles me nowadays, that all my websites will come up and information about me and things like that. So that's to answer that question. Alana said, when people want one-on-one, you don't have the time, obviously. Okay, yes. Yes, Alana, who's one of my licensees in Ultimate Weight Loss, and I've got licensees in Ultimate Business Edge. These are people who run my systems and programs and have the right to do that. They've purchased, like, in effect, like a business in a box. She was just saying that I may be busy, but they're open to having more clients. And Elena's doing really a fab job in Tassie, and she's coming to the 48-Hour Author Weekend this weekend to write her book, which is so exciting. I'm so glad to see when people take action, and more than happy to go the extra mile for all of them. All right, next question. Christy, I do a lot of social media work and have run workshops on an introduction to Facebook for business and a number of social media talks over the past year. My issue is setting package prices and a price for working on one-on-one with someone. What can you suggest for setting pricing? I offer free 30-minute social media consultation on my website. Would I be better off charging for this and then giving away free Facebook tips downloads? Yeah, definitely, Christy, you wouldn't want to package yourself up, and you need to make your packages irresistible and higher value than what your asking price is. So if you actually wanted to give me a call and we can have a 10-minute chat, I can actually give you a few tips as to how to do it. It's just a bit hard on this call because I've only got another 15 minutes. So I would say definitely packaging yourself. Don't give away your time for free. Please don't give away your time for free. I'm doing that right now for you guys because I had some spare time. I'm more than happy, and I know the people that are on the call have been following me for a long time. I know they appreciate and see the value in what I do. And I always look at ways from time to time to jump on a call. But really, when you're newer or you're starting to get a business off the ground, and I wouldn't be giving up. Even if you charge $5, charge those $5 because people need to have some skin in the game to really appreciate what you do for them. But at the end of that, say 30-minute social media consultation, you will have to have an upsell where those people will go into one of, say, three packages. So I'm happy to help you 10 minutes on a phone call to just give you some ideas around that. Okay, Elena, so what can you give people when they say you can leave a brochure in their business and haven't got anything printed apart from business cards? Next workshop details. What else can I to advertise myself? So definitely you'd want to either leave obviously you'd want to create a brochure, and you guys can do that easily through Fiverr for $5. All you got to do is just come up with your content and then have it obviously designed by someone and then go to print. But your brochure, you have to ensure that it's got a call to action. No, the brochure just with details about what your business does and then even just your contact details at the bottom is not going to gain a lot of traction for you. Give something away. Again, what can you give away that's high value, that is results in advance? Somewhere at the bottom of the brochure you can say, email me for blah 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 this ebook, or I'll send you this CD, or something that you can go, again, if we go back to Christy, for your 30-minute social media consultation, normally $150, you can have it for $15, something along those lines, so that people take some action and they can see that they will get a benefit from contacting you. Because if that brochure just goes in the bin or it doesn't even get picked up, it's something that there has to be something hypnotic on it. So that's what I would put. And definitely not business cards, but if you do have business cards, even on your business cards, you have to have a call to action. So on the back of your business cards, you must have, like, for example, on the back of my Ultimate Business Edge business cards, a little while ago, I had create your first product for profit, session valued at $250, just $50. Call, and then my mobile number now. So, and then I had products, like pictures of little products at the top. So do use images. Don't just put words down. Make sure you have visuals on your brochures because they catch the eye, and it needs to be obviously relevant to what you're selling. Cool. Yeah, love your honesty, says Sarah. Great answer. Thanks, Sarah. Thanks, Leonie. Great. Thank you. Okay. Hi, Ivana. Thank you for your time. Ivana, we got to do lunch soon. Call me. Leonie, really appreciate your time, Nat. You're welcome. You're welcome, Christy. Mel, okay. Well, there was just a lot of thank yous there. I had to scroll through. What is the most effective call to action? Well, there really is. You don't know. You really don't know what the most effective call to action is until you test and measure a few. There's no certainty in business what will succeed and what won't succeed. I can tell you so many things, and this is something I've read through books, but I truly believe it because I've experienced it myself. 9 out of 10 marketing initiatives that you try will fail. But when you find that 1 out of 10, ensure that you repeat it over and over and over again. So those first 18 months when I told you I did bugger all in terms of cash flow for my business, those were the 18 months where I did so many things, probably 60 or 70 different things, and I narrowed it down to top 3 things that really worked for me. Those top 3 things were networking, workshops, joint ventures, and then eventually social media. So that's all I focus my time on now. I don't bother with letterbox jobs. I don't bother with radio advertising. I don't bother with newspaper advertising. I'm definitely going to do a bit of work around publicity. So with my next book, I'm most likely going to hire a publicist to get me a bit of publicity, and also I'm going to go and learn about publicity. So that I can also teach people. I don't just want someone to do it for me. I also want to learn so that I can pass it on to all my clients and my inner circle, and everything that I learn, guys, everything that works, straight away I share it with my inner circle, with my clients, with anyone that I'm helping, pretty much. And that's why I'm here on the call tonight. I'm just sharing with you things that have worked for me and my ideas. Not everything will work for everyone. However, it's worth giving it a go. Whenever I was used to go on webinars, and I'd sit down at a webinar and I'd get some ideas from the person who was ahead of me in the game, I'd go, well, if it works for them, I'll model that and see if it works for me. If it doesn't, then obviously I can try something else, because you never stop giving things a go. You have to constantly be invested in your business if you want to see it succeed. There's no magic bullet, unfortunately. I'm sorry to tell you this, but yeah, there's no quick fixes. You got to work hard, and when you work hard, you will reap what you've sown, and you will get to live whatever dream lifestyle it is for you. I just still pinch myself nowadays, like, how I can do all the things that I do, and then I just get a buzz out of even what I'm doing right now. Obviously is kind of work for me, but it's just so much fun. Okay. Mel's saying, I usually feel that people are expecting free skincare samples but can't keep giving samples away. No, again, they don't appreciate free. They don't appreciate free samples. I used to use I don't know if you guys have heard of Paul, what was her surname? She wrote that book, Don't Go to the Cosmetics Counter Without This Book, or something along those lines. Well, she has her own skincare range that she critiques everyone's skincare, but then she's got her own range. However, her samples are not free. You're going to pay $1 per sample if you want to try some of her products out. And I think that's very smart, because when you're actually trialing that $1 sample, you're actually also valuing it and kind of going, oh, I get to try this, and if it's good, yes, I'll buy the big thing. But still, you got to pay for it. So no, I wouldn't give them away. Ivana says, should you have photos of your brochure on your brochure of yourself? Yes. Very good question. Oh my God, can't reiterate this enough. Have you seen tonight that you've got my photo both on this first slide and your second slide, and there's photos of me? So just to give you a tip, you're connecting with me, and you're not just connecting with my voice. When people arrive at all my websites, if you visit them, you will find my face all over it. People buy people, okay? It doesn't matter what product or service. At the end of the day, okay, if it's like you're buying some products from Priceline, of course you're buying the product. But in businesses where, for example, Mel says she's in a skincare business, you know what, Mel? I hope you have fantastic skin and you look after it in that, because if you don't, you're not going to be as successful as potentially you could be. And obviously you want to be, I guess, putting on the products that you sell, because people will buy the results that you have. So often, that's why I attracted people for weight loss. That's why I attracted people for writing books. That's why I attracted people for other product creation, is because they were buying what I had already achieved. And even nowadays, they come to me because they want the lifestyle that I live. So at the end of the day, they're not, yes, I will help them and I will give them the tips and tools to get to where they are. But where they make that emotional connection with you is because they want to buy you. At the end, just think about it and present yourself the way your client wants to see themselves. Okay, that's what. And yes, photos on your social media, on your websites, on your brochures, everywhere, especially what you do, Ivana. Totally, you want people to know you. And if you're one of those people that don't want to stand out, okay, start getting used to flex that muscle, because it's that tall poppy syndrome. Like, if I stand out, others, Australians are so well, unfortunately, we're in that's our culture. it's neither good or bad, but I'm just saying that that we can feel like we need to hide because, oh my God, what if we stood out? Some of you guys on this call might like me and some of you don't, and that's okay because I'm not to be here to be liked by everyone, but I know that I will attract those clients that I'm in tune with, and we have things in common with. So that's what I look for. I look for those clients. Sharon just said Paula Begoun. Yeah, Paula Begoun was the one that that wrote that book about the cosmetics counter, and Mel has said yes, I do. She's got good skin, so there you go. That's a great start. Sonia's just saying thank you, Nat. Your information is very useful. Yeah. All right, I've come to the last comment. Go. What other questions? We've got 5 minutes, guys. So in 5 minutes, I will let you know for those of you who are not doing the Ultimate 48-Hour Author Weekend to please leave the call, and then we can get on to our, everything will be okay on the weekend and stop the guys from feeling that overwhelmed. Get them like really excited and pumped. Hey, Faye. Thank you, Nat. As always, amazing sharing information. Very inspiring. Thanks, Faye. I hope you're doing well. There's just so many of you here that I have enjoyed supporting over this year, and others that I will continue to support, and maybe new ones that I will support in the future. And that's what makes what I do so rewarding is when I do get that feedback, and I just want to keep bettering myself and bringing new things out, and always keeping things fresh and interesting. That's my purpose, and I love it. Mel saying I'm using my own products. Of course, that makes my skin great. Of course, and that's fantastic. I'm curious, Mel, is it your own brand that you have created, or is it some another specific brand that you actually use their system and their products? Christy, the free downloads on your website, is that built-in program on your website that lets you do that? Yeah, so your website person will set that up as a contact form. It's like a contact form, or what is it called? Like a smart form. And when people fill in those details, they're going to my database, and vice versa from my database, they get sent out whatever that gift is. And then they go on to an autoresponder sequence where the system actually builds a relationship on autopilot with the person. Oftentimes we may send emails in real time. However, the system does have a built-in sequence that goes out. And obviously these things, guys, take time to set up. But just think, if you were to write one email out of a sequence once a week, in 7 to 10 weeks, you'll have 10 weeks of a campaign that you can build a relationship with someone who has opted in on your website. So yes, they're integrated and they're connected to my database. And I use SendPepper, guys. So SendPepper is similar to MailChimp, similar to Constant Contact, similar to what are they called? Infusionsoft. Now, Infusionsoft is very, very expensive. I haven't even started using that, but I'm planning on starting to learn in 2014, that particular system. But the other ones are about $30 a month. Infusionsoft's about $230 a month. So it's something that you would use later on in business. But the basic ones are great ones to start with, and I'm still on one of the basic ones. Cool. Mel said, thanks you for the valuable information. Cool. Mel's saying, yes, it's her own skincare brand. Do you have a website? If you have a website, let us know so we can check it out, because I want to know who I've been talking to. Chrissy says, absolutely love what you do, by the way. Loving the Facebook page. That's great. Great to see. Sonia says, I think my issue is more about what you just discussed, getting myself noticed, seen, heard. This weekend is really stretching me. Say something to help me. Everything will be okay. And the end result is always going to be the same. That's one of the things that whenever I start stressing out about something, guys, I always say to myself, the end result will always be the same. Whether I stress or I don't stress, it is always going to be the same. When we came back from Italy, back to Macedonia 2 weeks ago, and we're at my auntie's house unpacking, and I couldn't find my iPad mini. And I thought I left it in the back of the plane seat. My mum said, "Where's your iPad?" I go, "I have no idea, you know." And then I said, "Well, give me your iPad. Maybe I can locate it through that Find My iPad app." And I didn't stress out. I just my auntie started freaking out. I said, "Mira, calm down." I said, "The end result will always be the same, whether we stress or we don't stress." So 5 minutes later, surely enough, we hadn't checked the backpack properly, and the iPad was laying there. So I didn't stress. Same thing happened with my mum. Thought she lost her wallet with $1,000 when we were coming back from Greece, and it was in the back of the seat of the car, in that sort of pocket. And again, my auntie stressed out, so we had to give her a good lesson in terms of there's no point, you know. And this is the same thing, Sonia. You know, I'm giving you guys these little stories, which are obviously not related to business, but it's exactly the same. Whatever you feel overwhelmed or anxious about, it's because you're focusing too far ahead into the future. Anxiety is when you focus in the future. Depression is when you focus on the past. And where are you happiest? Right here in the present. So be present and take that one moment at a time. So, Sonia, when you come over on the weekend, you take Friday at a time, just focus on Friday. Then we'll focus on Saturday, have a great night on Saturday night, and then finish off with a bang on a Sunday, and then we're off to the publisher to start working on your books and getting them out there properly. So end result will always be the same. All right, I'm gonna finish reading now the last comments here, guys. So stop posting now, and what I'll do is I'll let you know some of my authors have started to arrive, and that way I'll say goodbye to you, and then I'll go on and keep keep going with the pep talk, pre-weekend pep talk. Ivana, I appreciate all your support and that. Thank you, and look forward to having lunch soon. Great. Mel's given us her website. It's Embalm Skincare. Let me write that down. EMBALM skincare.com.au. Cool. I'll look it up and connect with you, Mel. And if we're not connected, friend me on Facebook because I've never met you. Hey, Russell, great to see you here. Sonia says you're awesome right now. Thank you, Leonie, and thank you from Sharon. Very grateful. Okay, guys, so it is right on that 45-minute mark. I trust that this has been a valuable 45 minutes to you. And from time to time, when I have a spare moment, I'll post one of these up and get you to connect with me. But if you do want to connect with me, ask me any questions, either call me or email that address, and you've got all the websites that I've got up there. So we'll